And now, DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness. Hear the legend.
Assalamualaikum guys, this is my collection here. In this video I am going to tell you that the episode opened with one of Po's daydreams, where he imagined him and Tigress as heroic partner on an important mission to retrieve a special statue. Tigress suddenly broke it off, annoyed but about him daydreaming out loud. The mission in Po's daydreaming had been true. Po and Tigress were assigned to bring back a statue of Master Oogway to Shifu. After having it recently cleaned, Po tried to make conversation with Tigress along with the way, which only made her more and more angry. While arguing him to stop, they accidentally dropped the statue off from its caravan. They tried to keep it from falling, but were then caught by surprising when the Crocs bands suddenly chained their hand together. They all engaged in a fight, but quickly found it difficult to do so with their hands chained together. The band pushed them forward toward a ledge, and in a desperate attempt to escape, Po jumped off the ledge, draining Tigress with him. They both made it to the ground safely, but Tigress was furiously for losing the statue as well as the ruby. The bands wanted. A proud Po then showed her the ruby he had snatched while the bands were fighting. Knowing the bands will soon be after them, Tigress began to run, draining Po behind her. Back at the statue, Feng was surprised to see the ruby gone. At first, he thought it was a joke, but then became angry to hear that Po took lick. Furious about this, he ordered the band to go and get it back. While Po continues to try and talk to Tigress, she was desperately trying to find a way to get the chain off. Po had an idea, but it ended up backfiring and hurting Tigress. Before they could try something else, the bands found them and began to chase them. The two ducked behind a rock to lose them, but were found only a moment later. The two ran for cover on a hill and escaped into a walled-off garden, to which Tigress quickly blocked the entrance. Seeing a large bell in the middle of the courtyard, Tigress gets an idea on how to cut the chain. Po nervously stands under the bell while Tigress drops the bell on top of him. Disappointment to see the chain was still not cut. She realized a very shaken and a slightly deaf Po. He began yelling, which caused them to be discovered once more. Before the band could break into the garden, Tigress quickly thought of an escape. She took the chain and swung Po around, using Po's weight to gain momentum and break through the wall. The two escaped, and Feng became even more furious. Back in the forest, The two found shelter by a tree. Tigress noticed her hunger. She still made for her angry at Po for having eaten her lunch earlier. Po tried to make it up to her by climbing up the tree to retrieve an apple. But he slips and falls, pulling Tigress along. When on the ground, she was about to yell at Po again when she suddenly saw that she was holding an apple. Humbly, she thanked Po. The two eventually built a campfire and Tigress started crafting a wooden key while Po ate some honey from a tree. The two were getting along until Po asked her if she had wanted to the dragon warrior. She admitted that she did, and Po commits that he know she think Oogway made the wrong choice, to which Tigress does not reply. When Po placed wood into the fire, accidentally included Tigress' wooden key. She finally lost it and said she think Oogway did not make wrong choice. Insulted Po walked away. He then realized along with the way that he had slipped out of the chain with the honey and starts running back. But meanwhile, Tigress was sunkly by the fire and felt something rubbing the chain. She thought it was Po, but suddenly she was yanked and dragged away from the crook bands. Po returned and was horrible to see Tigress was missing. Tigress was tied up and confronted by Fang, demanding to have the ruby back. Tigress refused and kicked Fang when he fought too close. Fang became annoyed by this and had a large machine rolled out from the forest. When the machine rolled out the wrong way and Fang tried instructing his band to fix it, Po located them and threw rock at the bands as a distraction. They spread out in alarm and Po immediately ran out a utility address. While escaping with the statue, the band surrounded them. They all engaged in a fight, but they were overwhelmed by the number of bands. By Po's suggestion of a plan involving them working together, the Tigress chained them together again and they worked together to fight off the bands. While they fought, Fang had seized possession of the statue and the ruby and started driving away on the machine. Po and Tigress chased after him, eventually catching up to him and working together again to break his machine and stop Fang's escape. The two smiled at each other forward and congratulated each other. Tigress told him Oogway had made the right choice and respectfully bowed to him after the Panda. Po was touched by her word. The two carried the statue away into the distance while Po started the same conversation they had at the beginning of the episode.